Pixelgun 3D is releasing on Steam PC, and just yesterday, the developers have given us a blog post update on a few things that we can expect with this game. Although we haven't been given an official release date, this is expected to be releasing before the end of 2023. The developers have started to release more information about this. Stick around until the end of today's video. I know you guys have a lot of questions about being able to transfer your accounts from iOS to PC, from Android to PC, from iOS to Android, Android to iOS. It looks like that's finally going to be happening. The blog post starts off by saying Pixelgun 3D PC Edition news update. The first details. Whoa. Your loud reaction to the news about PG3D PC version exceeded all of our expectations. Well, that motivates us to work even harder on the port. It is going to be a direct port from either iOS or Android to Steam PC. And then they said, what do you need to know about the Steam version right now? First, a separate team is working on the port. This way, we maintain mobile version support without being distracted by other developments. Now, this is something a lot of you guys were leaving in the comment section of my previous video, saying, are they planning to ditch the mobile version? No. Are they going to be overloaded with work? Yes, but also no at the same time. They're going to have the mobile team, the team that's been developing for a very long time, and they're also going to have a PC team as well. In case you guys don't know, it was either a year or two, or maybe 3 years ago now, Pixelgun 3D was purchased as part of a deal worth $100 million by a company called Nexters, a powerhouse in operating mobile video games. And Pixelgun 3D has been a very dominant FPS game in the mobile scene for a very long time. This is actually a really good thing. Currently, Pixelgun 3D can be played on PC via BlueStacks and all these other emulators. There is not going to be a need for those versions. You are going to be able to download it via your Steam account, and it's going to be completely free. Now, this is interesting. They said, secondly, Pixelgun 3D PC Edition will be almost a complete port of the mobile version. But why almost? We will remove 3 to 5% of content that became obsolete a long time ago. It will help us speed up the PC version development and also have a positive effect on optimization. Other than that, it will be the same Pixelgun 3D that you love so much. Now, this makes total sense from a business perspective. Let's remove some of the stuff that isn't useful in Pixelgun 3D anymore, and let's get the version out a lot sooner than expected. Now, what I want you guys to do in the comment section below is to leave all the outdated and obsolete content in Pixelgun 3D. I can think of a couple of them. The one and the main one that I can think about is, you know, the lobby backgrounds going back like 5 or 6 years ago. Pixelgun 3D heavily invested in an update for the background, and that part of Pixelgun 3D is pretty much dead. You have all these like music boxes and different statues that are supposed to give you special attributes. Yeah, I think Drop made a video on that saying no, they don't work anymore. So that's kind of part of Pixelgun 3D that is a little bit obsolete. Now, I'm curious. I'm really curious because we know it takes up a lot of space in Pixelgun 3D. Are they planning to remove the campaign from the PC version, or will that be available? Now, I still have so many questions, and I imagine as time goes by, the developers are going to be releasing more articles and more information for the community. And of course, I will keep you all updated. But yes, it is pretty much going to be a direct port from the mobile version. Lastly, it says, of course, there is more news we have prepared for you. Surely you are interested in whether it will be possible to transfer progress from the mobile version to PC. The answer to this and other questions you can get here on our Steam page. So add PG3D to your wish list, subscribe to the Steam community, and be one of the first to get the news. Now, that is some serious bait right there. Instead of giving us an answer to one of the biggest questions the pixel gun community has, they went, yeah, nah, we're not giving you that information. However, they kind of somewhat have been leaking this information over the past couple of weeks, because an article was literally released before they announced the Steam update information saying, hey everyone, another important step towards easy account transfers. Owners of Android devices will now have the ability to transfer game progress across devices and link it to another store's game service. Now, if you need to transfer progress to a new phone, or you are unable to make payments in the current store, you can change it without losing progress. That is a massive W from the developers. It says the account transfer feature can be found under settings by clicking the account transfer or deletion button. Important, be sure to read all the terms of transfer to avoid unpleasant surprises with loss of progress on a new device. Now, PG3D has been out for 10 years, right? 10 years. Technology has changed every single year. Every single year, new tablets come out, new phones come out. There is nothing more depressing than getting a new device, trying to play PG3D on it, and all your data and stuff has lost. I had it happen on one of my old iPads versus the one I've got now, and I do want to upgrade my current iPads. I'm not going to do it, though, until iOS also has all this support, but if they're making it possible to transfer Android accounts to a different Android device, obviously it's going to be coming to iOS, and the overall end goal here is to make it possible to transfer from iOS to Android, Android to iOS, to PC, to mobile. That is the end goal here, a universal account transfer. And this could also be a way that the developers are trying to stop the forever ongoing issue with hackers that this game has. Before we end today's video, I want to go over some of the comments that you left in my previous Steam announcement video, but a couple of things I noticed on the article page. The first thing I noticed on the official page is, of course, it does say planned release date to be announced. The first date that they did have was December of this year. Whether it was a placeholder, we do not know. I also noticed it says cross-platform multiplayer. There has been a lot of questions of whether or not you can play with PC players if you're on iOS or Android. This is a direct question I asked to one of the developers, who said yes, because iOS and Android will definitely want to challenge themselves to play against PC. However, the PC players can't just join mobile lobbies. It is highly likely going to be a setting or a toggle that you can enable on iOS or Android. If you want to fight against PC, turn it on. If you just want to play against iOS and Android players, you turn it off. And this is quite common. It's something that is available in Call of Duty as well for the likes of Xbox and PlayStation. They have the ability to turn off cross-platform play with PC. And PC is very, very well known for hackers. And that is also a very, very top question, and something that developers need to fix. In the latest event in PG3D, there's hackers everywhere. They're highly likely working on a solution, but let's hope that they get it out before the Steam version releases. This is the blog post article. I'll leave it down below. If you've got a PC, probably worth following just to stay updated with all of the news. And if you do scroll to the bottom, we do have a little bit of a discussion going on here from community members who are currently just leaving questions. Like, again, the top question right here is, we'll be able to transfer our mobile iOS, for example, to the PC version. Although they haven't necessarily said yes, I think the overall aim is going to be that. And we have a couple other comments down here. Let's just read this one. Now, this one is in Russian. And if we translate it, it says, I hope no more cheats or cheaters will appear due to the port. I think that's a very big question from a lot of us. And then we just go down a little bit more. And I like this one a lot, actually. This guy says, I eat peanut butter. It says, will the PC edition have more graphics and performance customization options? Like finally having more than 60 FPS limits, because I wouldn't be able to stand 60 FPS, especially on a PC. And this is something that we've been talking about quite a lot, because if we go back to here, down below, we do have the requirements and the recommended is a GeForce GTX 600, which honestly is quite an outdated graphics card. If that's the high end of Pixel Gun 3D, then imagine what people like me could do with a 2080 Super, or people who've got better graphics cards than me. And I do hope something will be improved with graphics related things. The first video I released about this, you guys were relatively happy and just had a lot of questions and some pretty good comments. Like the first one here from PG3D. I feel like the Pixel Gun 3D developers are slowly inching towards the multi-platform gaming of Pixel Gun 3D to introduce more players around the world to play the game. It's a good thing. Now, yes, it is a good thing. Are they planning to go from mobile to PC, then to console? Could we eventually see Pixel Gun 3D on an Xbox and a PlayStation or a Switch? Well, it already features controller support on iOS. Definitely possible to do it if you're playing on an Xbox and other console related things. And then I see in this one here, and this is probably my favorite comment of the day. One big thing I hope for this is a workshop page. Since Steam is for PC, being able to give players the ability to make their own maps and share it with others would be a great feature and could add a ton more replayability. Absolutely 10 out of 10 comment. I actually completely forgot about the workshop. But if players in the community can create maps or even weapons and mods, like good kind of mods and fun mini games, this is honestly a really good ecosystem for Pixel Gun 3D. Again, just to amplify this a little bit more, this comment says, while this may be a good idea so that the game reaches more people, they must keep the PC players separate from mobile players in order for it to be fair. And I fully agree. PC players should only play with PC players. iOS and Android players can only play together, but they can opt in to play with PC players. That's how I see it, right? If you want to challenge yourself, you consider yourself a top tier Pixel Gun players, of course, you're going to want to challenge yourself against PC players, but PC players shouldn't be able to go ahead and just play with mobile users. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe. I will be keeping you all updated about the Steam announcement. I'm excited about this. I play a lot of PC games and I'm excited to check it out. Any more questions you have, leave them down below in the comment section, and I really hope the developers are working on an FAQ and they can reveal that before the official game is announced and revealed. Again, it looks like it's going to be releasing before this year is up, and we've only got 3 months left until December. Have a wonderful day.